Good morning. Saturday's off pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. We got the tires mounted, cars on the ground, gaffed the G8 this morning, so check it out. So, the front is still a little high because the suspension hasn't settled yet, but the driveway sits like this. And so, we're gonna have to get it on flat ground to see how it sits. I still wanna get a set of lowering springs. There's some in Springdale, about an hour from here. That'll bring it down 2 inches. The problem is I don't know where the right height actually is right now to know, because right now everything's kind of shifted this way because how it's sitting in the driveway. But outside of that, our fender to tire clearance is definitely close. And like I said, I'll have to roll or pull these because they're metal just at the very top a little bit. But overall, it's definitely got that 90s look for sure. You can see here that beat's pretty wide. Well, you can barely see, I guess, at the bottom. See how this side looks tucked? Because again, this car's sitting like that. But if this is the actual ride height here, I can live with that. That's more than enough to put a 2-inch drop in and be fine. Does it rub at all on the rear? See? If that's how it sits when it's flush, cool. Like I said, I don't know. We have monster truck gap up here because again the driveway and the suspension hasn't settled because the car hasn't really driven at all. But all things considered, this is what we got. This is what we got. So the goal for the day is to replace the push rods because I bent one. Long story. I'm not really sure how I did it. I know how I did it, but here we are. So as long as the valve train's fine, which it should be, because the engine wasn't running at the time, I was running them down in one bit, whatever. New push rods in, button up the top end, get the long tubes bolted on. They're in the car, and I started them. I had to put the gaskets in and run everything down and torque it accordingly, and make sure that the spacing sucked up like it should be and everything, and it should be it. Yeah, so I still don't know if we're gonna make it to Togaycon with this car. I mean, the Durango, as you saw in the background, is more or less fine, minus the oil leak that it's had for God knows how long. But we're going to try. We're going to really try, because I still have to button up the exhaust system itself, fix a couple odd things, and then, test drive it and idle it and all that. So we should be able to idle the car today, all things considered. I'm going to give it a shot tomorrow at the latest and just kind of see what we got. As long as we got oil pressure and it's coolant stable and the fans work, because I don't know anything about that. But anyways, we'll figure it out. So I'm going to get back to it. Hopefully you like what you saw.